I will say that name is terrible.
Yeah.
What is it?
Glacial drainage.
Glacial drainage. I don't know what they came up. The logo's cool. The logo it's a bike race.
Trey,
it's a
think
gravel
of a better
race.
name than glacial drainage.
Yeah,
that sounds like a disease.
Too many syllables. Yeah.
Well, it's not the syllables
and it doesn't even sound fun.
It sounds like an STD, man.
Oh, go sign up for this STD. It's on the March the 8th. It's on March the 8th in Madison, Indiana, 62 miles.
All right, what up, party people? So this week's episode is a little bit shorter than usual because we had I had some technical difficulties. You see, I've been behind the scenes working on trying to improve our recording setup with some different mics and lighting and cameras and all kinds of things. And somehow or another, I must have screwed up the settings. And when I went to log in to the studio this morning and record with the boys, things were all messed up, and I couldn't hear them. They couldn't hear me. It was a mess. So I had to go back to our original setup, and I don't need to bore you with the details. But anyways, that cut into our recording time, which meant we only had about 75 minutes to work with. So this week's episode is a little shorter than usual. But hey, that's not always a bad thing, right? So that left plenty of time still, because we really only had one major topic we needed to talk about, which was Cyclocross World Championships. That's right, Matthew van der Poel, spoiler alert. I'm going to spoil it for you right now, so stop. So if you haven't watched it, head over to YouTube. Apparently you can watch it on YouTube. I didn't know that. Should have known that. But anyways, you can watch the replays at this point on YouTube. Go check it out before this next sentence I'm about to speak. But Matthew van der Poel just straight up marked on everybody. We kind of knew that going in. I wasn't there last week, but the boys talked about it last week. Everyone's prediction was Matthew van der Poel, but it was still sick to watch. We talked about some of the other races that happened. So we get to some listener questions on tires as usual. And at the beginning of the show, actually, we did a little fun exercise for a potential sponsor that's going to be coming up. Hopefully, if we didn't totally screw up the exercise. But yeah, stay tuned for that because it was kind of fun. You'll get some funny impressions of our first take using the product that they advertise. Let's see, I think the merch sale is still going on. I'm sure Drew talked about that at some point in the show today. But it sounds like you guys actually did purchase quite a bit of the merch that was left over. So I don't know how much is left. So if you want something, shirt, hat, I don't even know what's in there, make sure you head over to the merch page because we're running low on inventory. We'll be restocking at some point, but if you want what's in there currently, now's the time. We've got some fun things in the work with our long-standing partner, SILCA. Not too much details to share yet, but hopefully there'll be some details coming out soon. We kind of been riffing about it a little bit here on the show, so you might have some idea of what's going on. But there's a few things in the works there, so stay tuned for that. We got some announcements to make with SILCA coming up. And yeah, that's about it. So let's get into the show. If you have any questions or feedback, you can always send us an email at bonkbrospodcast@gmail.com. That's it. If you have any questions or feedback, send them there. Or you can head over to Instagram. We check that pretty regularly, actually. So if you have any comments, usually people are just sending feedback to the Instagram page or responding to any of our posts or anything like that. But you can always send us a question to the Instagram page as well. So yeah, bonkbrospodcast@gmail.com, Instagram page. Let's get this party started.
Hours today.
All right, so are we kicking this thing off with these ketone shots or what?
I mean, I guess if we have to.
Does this guy realize this is going to be really bad marketing for him?
Why?
How do you know?
Do you know how?
Because I tasted it yesterday and almost vomited.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point of doing this. That's why we're doing it.
Do you know
live.
how ketones taste? Like, they're not good, man.
No, dude, I've never taken ketones.
No,
I mean, I know they're bad, but
yesterday was literally the first time, and I took a shot of it and like was coughing. I was like coughing for 5 minutes.
What's your shot?
How much do you do? Yeah,
you got to do the right dosage.
I did the cap.
Oh, okay. Sure.
All right.
Okay, so you do.
I drank the whole thing, bro.
All right, I'm gonna need 2 capfuls. That's kind of
what would happen if you drank the whole bottle. Was it like, are you gonna OD? Is that like, can you OD on ketones?
I think you would start cutting people off when they're talking and just talk over them.
Would I just start like shaking?
Okay, so you do one capful. That's how much you need to do.
Do
right?
2 capfuls. Do 2
I'm doing
capfuls.
2, yeah.
No.
I'm gonna start with 1 and see how bad it tastes.
Oh my gosh! Look, Scott's already down in it.
Did you already do it, Scott?
Yeah.
What the hell, dude? We're supposed to do it together, man. Do not know how that
We're doing
works.
it together now. I just did it. Like, you want it at the exact same time?
I'm
You're that
about
guy
to-
that goes to church
I'm
and
gonna
takes
do it
communion
right
and
now.
just
Cheers, guys.
chugs it right
No,
now.
wait,
Cheers.
wait, don't. Adam's not ready yet. Don't. No.
I'm ready.
Adam's not ready yet.
Holy shit!
Come on. It's not that bad.
Wow, that is
Wow,
pretty bad.
that's so bad.
No, it's not.
There's no way you could
Oh,
drink
my-
that while you're riding.
You guys
I'm
need
not
to
gonna lie.
stand up.
It's a little bit better the second time, but yesterday when I did it for the first time,
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
I would much rather drink tequila. That's for sure.
I guess your tolerance goes up.
Yeah, but it tastes bad. That's how you know it's like
Good.
real.
good.
The ones that taste good are
When
just
you-
fake, right?
When you put it in your bottle, it's surprising how such a little amount of liquid can make your whole bottle taste bad too.
Why are you doing your bottle? Why are you doing that?
It says on there. Not on that. It says you can take it. The only time you shouldn't take it is when you wake up, which is when we just took it. But
All
it
right,
says you
I
can
need
do
to
it.
Get up.
Dude, I've been up
It
for
says
I'm
hours.
on the
for
box.
hours.
On the box, it says pre-ride, during ride, post-ride, and before bed. And I'm like, if you can take something all day, then what's the benefit?
Dude, it's still in my mouth, man.
Yeah.
You guys are something.
When I said I didn't like fun in my mouth, that's not what I meant.
Actually, I was thinking of you when I was doing it yesterday. I'm like, this tastes so bad, but like, I wonder how
But, like-
bad Dylan's protein shake in the morning
Yeah.
tastes.
It's
And that's-
it's
and
so
that's
much
a
better
whole,
than
and that's a whole bottle. This
No,
is
dude.
just one little like shot.
no, dude. The protein shake versus
should we
this.
at least talk
it's not
about what
even
this stuff's
comparable.
called? Because it's not the fake stuff. This stuff's
Y'all
called
ever
Yeah,
seen-
Scott, can you talk about the
ketone
difference
aid.
between?
P4.
Can you talk
ketone
about the
ester
difference between
concentrate.
this
KE4.
and that bullshit Ketone IQ product?
I mean, isn't it all BS?
I mean, I'm not like an expert on the subject, but
Well, when have we ever been an expert in anything
That's
on this
true.
podcast?
that's true. Like, basically, the ketone aid makes hard ketones, which is basically just alcohol that's not ethanol, and then ketone IQ is basically just alcohol, where this is the actual ketone ester.
Ester.
Yeah.
Sounds legit.
And what does ketone? Maybe Dylan, you know this. What's the benefit of ketone ester?
Dylan doesn't know shit.
I mean, I made a whole video
Yeah,
about
we made a
this,
whole
but
video.
it's
I
been
You
like
made a wrong video.
it's
I
been like
should've
3
watched-
years.
Yeah, I should have
Your
watched
video was
the
wrong.
video. Well, then Scott, you tell us. What's the?
It
give us
wasn't-
the.
dude,
give
I'm not
us the
saying
pitch.
that I know. I'm just know that Dylan doesn't know.
Scott, my video can't be wrong because I was just reviewing research. Like I wasn't. I'm pretty sure at the end of the video, I didn't even come to a hard conclusion. I was just like, "This is what the research says."
But it could
Spoiler
be
alert.
outdated. It could
I
be
didn't even watch
outdated.
your video.
Could be outdated, and could have tested freaking Ketone IQ for all I know.
Yeah. Definitely possible.
So will this help me to win Unbound? Is this?
I
is
think
that's-
I think that a lot of World Tour riders are using this to improve recovery. They're not necessarily using it as a performance enhancer, but it is improving recovery over the course of like a 3-week stage race.
I don't know, man. And according to Frank, he was saying that they were down on him during the stages too.
Is Frank the guy with the company?
Frank's the guy, yeah.
Okay.
So ketone esters are a type of exogenous ketone that increases the amount of ketones in the blood.
What are you reading the Wikipedia article on it right
Yeah,
now?
but you
No,
can't
dude,
use the.
no, dude,
you can't
Wikipedia
use
sucks,
the
man. I'm using
term in the
AI.
you can't use the
This is
term in the
Chat
definition.
GPT,
That
dude.
doesn't help at all. Oh yeah, ketone ester is
ketone
ketone.
esters are
Basically-
used to put the body into ketosis with the following ketogenic diet included.
Oh my gosh! All it's doing is saying the word keto over and over and over again. I don't know. That literally doesn't help at all.
You don't know what
basically-
ketosis is?
It allows
Is that
you
a-
to utilize a different fuel source other than carbohydrates, so you can spare your carbohydrates for when it really matters, like at the end of a race.
So this would be good on days that you're doing intensity, not necessarily like endurance days.
See, I don't know
agree
about
with
that. I don't know
I
about
disagree.
that. Yeah,
So it's better on endurance days.
we need to have Frank on.
I also disagree.
Oh, disagree. Okay, it's not good for endurance or intensity.
No, it's good
Okay,
for
well-
both. It's good for
Oh,
both.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took it. I took a shot before I left for my ride, and then I put a shot in both of my 2 bottles that I started with yesterday.
All right. Well, we've had a lot of we've had a lot of really bad ad reads on this podcast, but that might be the worst.
It says on there 1 to 2 capfuls per hour of exercise. Yeah.
Dizzle, no one's questioning what you did. I'm just saying this is a terrible
raised
ad
your
read.
eyebrows like I did so like I was going to OD
I'm saying
or
that's
something.
no. I'm just saying that's commit, dude. That's full commit.
Oh yeah. I'm with Dylan. I'm like, I don't care if it tastes bad or if it makes me look weird or smell weird. Like,
it is.
See, I don't know that I would do it in my bottles.
It makes me better than
because I'd rather have like the bottle to chase down that aftertaste. You know?
Yeah, I learned that real quick.
I still have the aftertaste of my mouth.
It's
been
that
5 minutes.
I didn't think that it was going to make my whole bottle taste bad, but it does. Like, and I had like 100 grams of carbs in there too.
If you want to take it like during, just drink it out of the bottle. Don't mix it with anything else.
That's what I should have done. I should have brought it and then just take it. Because I think if you put it in your bottle with your mix, I probably wasn't drinking as much of my bottle because it didn't taste as good. You know what I mean? Where you get that.
And you're drinking it over the course of an hour or 2 hours. Where
right. You're not getting that concentrated dose.
You wanted to. Oh, okay. You want the.
Again,
hint.
we're not experts on this, so we should probably just
makes sense.
The expert.
So instead of like a flask of like maple syrup in my back pocket, I'm gonna have a flask of Ketone 8, and I'm just gonna whip that.
You don't need a flask because it comes in a bottle, small.
But I'm not gonna be sitting there in the middle of a race trying to unscrew this cap.
Riding on gravel, trying to pour a cap full.
Scott, like not all of us just ride off the front of crits and can do whatever the crap we want. Like I have to try hard.
Maybe you will once you start, down the
Yours looks different than mine.
Scott, you were saying that it
is empty.
It also amplifies the effects of caffeine too.
Great.
Allegedly, yeah.
Nice.
I was listening to a podcast about caffeine, and you can reset your caffeine tolerance after only a week of cold turkey.
Wow, that's actually faster than I thought.
Yeah, the Huberman lab. So it has to be true.
Do you drink caffeine regularly?
I do. So now I'm thinking like the week before the Mid-South, I'm just going to cold turkey it so that on the day of Mid-South, I can just get all that caffeine.
Have 1 cup of coffee.
Yeah, just be more excited than I already will be.
Have you ever come down from caffeine intake?
No, but I mean, there are days where like, I know there are days where like I don't get coffee and I'm like, I can tell like you can kind of get a headache.
I guess going cold turkeys probably accelerates the, whatever adaptive effect of, like resetting it. But maybe going cold turkey is very hard. It's a lot easier to like slowly taper down, but I would imagine it would take a lot longer to do that.
Yeah, maybe I'll just cut it in half starting now and just get used to like a 1 cup a day kind of thing.
I don't know if that works though.
Oh,
I think you do have to go through a period of time where you don't take in any caffeine.
I know, but the Mid-South isn't for like another week, month and a half. So if I just do a cup a day, by then, you know what I mean? That will have decreased my
and then you'll go cold turkey for a week.
Yeah, maybe. That makes sense, right?
Could you just drink decaf instead? As like
what's the point of that, Tyler? That's the point of that.
That's like drinking NA beers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are all gravel racers. Aren't you sponsored by an NA beer company and a coffee company?
Very true.
Yeah, I wish.
Sponsored
Ketone
by
Aid.
Gravel coffee.
I wish I was sponsored by Fresca. Oh, I love Fresca. I get down a Fresca.
Would you take a sponsorship from something that you don't even like consuming? I'm trying to think of an example.
I was sponsored by Athletic Brewing, and I've never had a non-alcoholic or
that answer.
I've never had a non-alcoholic beer in my life, and I've only had like a few alcoholic beers in college.
Mm-hmm. Those were your wild days.
Why wouldn't you try one of the non-alcoholic beers?
Because I'd rather drink a Fresca or a Mountain Dew or a Pepsi or
dude, I don't
like the list of things that I'd rather drink. Like, and I don't even like beer, so why would I drink a non-alcoholic?
Yeah, I don't think beer tastes like objectively. I don't think beer tastes good. I think the only reason why people like the taste of beer is because they got drunk and then now they're associating that feeling with that taste.
Well, unless it's the this is the only beer that I have drank, the Angry Orchard, because that stuff literally tastes like apple juice.
That's cider. That's different.
That was the only stuff that I drank.
Apple juice.
It was apple juice.
It is apple juice.
Yeah, that stuff does taste good. That's the only alcohol I've ever drank, though. I think basically.
You guys seen
ketones, bro.
You can get non-alcoholic White Claws now. I'm like, dude, that's a freaking
water.
That's a LaCroix.
Carbonated
That's a LaCroix.
Yeah, that is funny.
How ridiculous is that?
Now we're just going full circle.
Yeah. You can get non-alcoholic water.
That's funny. There's a guy trying to. I think I heard of a guy trying to make an alcoholic. What do you call the non-carbonated water? You call that hard water? Still water. Yeah.
Water.
He's doing alcoholic still water.
I mean,
yeah.
Some people drink like whiskey and
water. Yeah.
So tequila? Is that what
that's what it was like. Funny.
Mezcal.
Everybody's trying to come up with all these crazy. Somebody needs to come up with there already is an alcoholic sweet tea, isn't there? Twisted tea.
Twisted tea, yeah.
Yeah, never mind. It already exists.
All right, can we start talking about cyclocross worlds already?
Wait, hold on. I got a sick package in the mail that I want to talk about.
Wait, so I have a question. Is this stuff actually sponsoring the show?
Are we not talking about that yet?
Or is this just a trial?
What? Well,
is this Ketone 8? Are they an official sponsor?
I don't know. It depends on how terrible that ad read just went.
It was awful. It was the worst ad read.
Yeah, but people are still going to our listeners aren't that smart, so they'll probably still go buy it. A formal relationship has not been established yet, but we got sent products to test out. Okay.
All right.
Well, should they use a code so that we can at least track?
We don't have a code because we don't have a relationship yet.
I know, but if they just put in there, Bonk Bros sent me, and 100 people buy the stuff today, the guy will want to sponsor us.
I know, but you realize that if you put in a code that's invalid, it doesn't work. So it just says invalid.
I wish there was a way to do that.
That would be cool. You can maybe put in like a comment or something.
Yeah, put a comment in.
Send Frank an email.
A note. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna buy a Lauf, do that as well. Put Dizzle sent me in the notes section so that they can track that. Even though
are we going to talk about Cyclocross Worlds or the sick package?
Yeah, tell us about your package, Adam.
I think
I'm the only one that got a package.
We all have packages.
I don't know what you're talking about. Show us your package, Adam.
I got 2 packages.
Whoa, dude. I'm not ready for that. It's only 8 a.m. here. I'm not showing anybody my package yet.
Wait, dang. I should have went and got my package. Do you want me to go get my package?
Let's see your package.
I'm actually pretty stoked about it.
Package, Adam.
It's in the basement.
Right, hold on.
I didn't know.
If this is the one from SILCA, you're not allowed to show it.
Whoa, dude. We can't talk about that. Come on.
I know. I'm just making sure. I don't want you to get in trouble.
For the first time since 2019, I'm going to test out some new XC tires.
Whoa.
Dude, I got the Ricks.
What'd you got? The Ricks?
I got the Ricks. I'm pretty excited about it.
I got all Schwalbe
I've literally
tires.
ridden the Aspen 2.4 exclusively since 2019.
Where is this package from?
Bike Tires Direct.
Dude, we're starting the podcast with 2 ad reads in a row. This is crazy.
We didn't. This isn't an ad read. This is just.
But this is like I'm actually excited about this.
Yeah, because we want money.
I was excited to try ketones too. But Dylan, have you used these on anything other than your drop bar hardtail yet, or drop bar mountain bike yet?
No, but those tires got me my second best lifetime Grand Prix result last year. So
yeah. I'm pretty stoked. That's what I wanted to talk about because I literally have not ridden any other XC tire. What?
Dylan, you talking about the Rick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got those too.
Did you?
Open the package.
God,
the
look
Rick
at
XC?
you.
Yeah, 2.4.
Look at you, Scott, getting some Ricks.
I still don't know the Schwalbe like nomenclature super well, so I don't know. I got like the brown ones. I don't know. Hopefully those are good. With the red stripe, is the red stripe good?
You got the right one. You got the right one.
All right, cool.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, pretty stoked. Those are going to go on today.
Of gravel tires that haven't been tested yet. I don't think.
I was going to get those gravel tires. I think you got the Schwalbe RXS or something like that.
Yeah, the G1
RSX.
G1 RX and the G1 RL.
I don't know about
It's
that
so
one.
confusing. It's
The
either an
RX
L, an S, or an X, and I got two.
The
of
RX
them.
looks legit. At least it looks. I mean, we don't know how it feels on the steel tube or whatever, but it looks just like the King.
Yeah,
so
that's why I got it. And it's a 50
but it comes in a 50
instead of a
instead of a 55.
So that's why I got that one. And then the other one is more like a Pathfinder, where it's smooth with tread on the sides.
Why wouldn't you just run a Pathfinder?
I don't know. Because they didn't have they don't have, I look. They don't stop Bike Tires Direct doesn't have specialized tires. They don't.
Oh,
that's
well,
a
those
brand
tires
that
suck anyway. It's a good
they
thing.
don't carry specialized, I don't think, at all. I just typed in the word specialized and nothing came up. So I'm assuming they don't carry those.
I did see that they carry Giant
Tires.
Yeah. No, dude. I mean, maybe
giant
tires. Giant tires probably suck.
What do you guys think about the new brand? Is it Goodyear? Goodyear trying to do all kinds of tire.
Yeah, Goodyear. I think they're partnered with Zip, right?
I don't think about that. That's not something that I think
Zip.
about.
And when I got my box of Look pedals the other day, they sent me a flyer with all the Goodyear tires. I'm like, is Look somehow associated with Goodyear as well? I was going to ask him, but
isn't Look owned by SRAM, or is that Time?
That's Time.
Time, yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know about the Look Goodyear relationship there, but
yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, just a classic tire company, Goodyear.
I don't know if those have. I think the
kind of like Michelin.
I was about to say the newer Explore tire, I think, has been tested on the bicycle rolling resistance.
Do you guys know, does Schwalbe, do they only do bicycle tires, or do they do other industries too?
I think they do like wheelchair tires.
Okay. Well, those are like this kind of the same.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Most wheelchairs use like bike wheels.
Yeah,
with different hubs and stuff. But
Tyler, this is a question for you. You know how like in all those cyclocross races they got those? Is it called Toyo or Yotu?
Tufo.
Toyo.
Yeah, Toyo. What is it?
Toyo.
They make car tires. Do they make bike tires?
Of course.
I don't think so.
Because I know, that's what I'm saying. It's counterintuitive. They make them. They're like a massive sponsor of every cyclocross race because they have these massive tire barriers during the race. But I've never seen a Toyo bike tire.
Well, it's a non-endemic sponsor. I mean, just because they sponsor a bike race doesn't mean that they have I don't know.
That's the point, Tyler. We're talking about all these brands like Michelin and Goodyear that make both bike tires and car tires, but it's kind of cool that there's this company that doesn't even make bike tires, but they sponsor bike races.
I mean, it's kind of like when Steel sponsors World Cup mountain bike races. Like, they don't obviously make bike chains.
The chainsaw?
Yeah.
I'm looking at getting one.
Yeah, I would get a Steel.
Is this the segment of the show where Scott talks about what appliances
Scott,
he
you
has?
just freaking go broke already buying all this shit?
Who's got the ringer on? Is that you, Scott?
Yeah.
Why don't you turn that shit off? Scott, didn't you guys talk last week about trying to make this podcast a little more professional?
Dude, I've never wanted to start talking about cyclocross so bad.
I don't like being professional. I don't like it. I'm more of an authentic guy,
You can be authentic and professional.
Hold on. Who said they wanted this podcast to be more professional?
You guys were talking about it last week.
I did last year. I said people are going to keep hating us unless we at least step up our quality.
We are getting new mics. So
dude, I don't think the lack of professionalism is why anybody hates this podcast.
I'm not saying like the content. I'm still going to piss people off with what I say. I just want to make sure they hear me clearly and see me visually.
They're hearing you clearly. Like, the people that they're not hearing clearly is definitely Scott and most of the time Tyler.
Yeah. Tyler's audio. Yeah.
That's why we're getting all new mics.
All right. What happened in cyclocross, Tyler? Lead us off.
Where do you want to start?
Dude, I was like, if Tyler doesn't come on this week, we can't even do this week's episode. Like, we're not going to be able to do this week's episode if Tyler doesn't.
Did you guys watch any of the races?
I did.
No, dude. How could you watch it?
I watched the men's race right before
YouTube. It was on YouTube.
Not for free.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, UCI channel was showing all the World Cups and live.
Oh, dude, you can watch any race for free.
Dude, I looked it up. I literally looked up how do you stream it, and it said you had to be on Flow Bikes. Or you could be on Discovery Plus. And I tried to create a free account on Discovery Plus and log into the German VPN, and that shit didn't work. So
no, don't go to YouTube.
Yeah, literally anywhere in the article that I read did it mention YouTube.
Why?
Nowhere.
Okay, that's a bad article.
Well,
yeah, clearly.
We should start writing articles here too. Can anyone write? Is anyone like
make any shit up? Apparently,
I can't do it.
All right, so you can watch.
You don't
on
even
YouTube.
have to write. AI will write for you.
Yeah,
all right,
so
we'll just do AI articles.
God.
YouTube. All right.
Yeah, you can go to YouTube and watch all the races. Honestly, like the men's U23, Tibor Del Grosso is like, he's at that point where he should probably be racing elites, but just dominated the whole race by a minute.
No one should be racing elites as long as Matthew van der Poel's in the field.
Well, he's Matthew van der Poel's teammate, probably the heir apparent to the Alpecin throne. He chooses to be so.
Well, maybe that's why he chose to do the U23 so that they can win multiple titles.
It's true. Not a bad idea.
How old is the guy?
U23.
Why no? But is he 20 or is he 22.9?
He's 21. He's born in 2003.
He's got time.
Yeah. So still crushing it. I think he did well in some elite races this year too. Yeah, women's U23 race was kind of exciting. Like Zoe Backstead just, I don't know. She came, she kind of rode in a way that was just like she did not want to leave it to a sprint at all. She just was just going hard the whole time. Like, I don't know, not a lot of finesse if from my perspective, but still dominated. But I would say the women's elite race was probably the most exciting if you're going to go back and watch one.
Yeah, I did watch the women's elite race. I
just watched it.
You just watched it.
Wow. The 2-minute highlight video.
Nice.
It was exciting.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Tyler should actually be the one that.
Well, Fem Van Empel won again, but Fem.
Is this her third?
Yes, her third world championship in a row, I think. She hasn't looked on her game the last couple of weeks. Yeah. So,
according to Drew last week, she never looks on her game.
She doesn't, dude. She just doesn't have a very. Wout is kind of the same way. Like, Wout doesn't look. You watch Van der Poel, and Van der Poel just makes it look easy. And there are other people that don't make it look easy.
Dude, I completely disagree with you about Wout. Wout makes it look easy too. Maybe not as easy.
Bro had a hole in his pants the whole race. That's not making it look easy. That's showing that you crashed on lap 1. Like, no.
I did when I went back and watched it after I knew the result. Wout lost 46 seconds on the first lap and lost the race by 45 seconds.
Wow. Jeez.
That's a stat.
So that kind of
Van der Poel is also like Van der Poel had over a minute, and then he was celebrating the last lap.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
did you factor that in, Scott?
Yeah, he was like high-fiving people. He high-fived somebody on the down of a ramp. I'm like, bro, that would have been so bad if you had just wadded yourself giving a high five.
What'd you ask him?
So Fem won, but you said it was exciting. So who else was in the mix?
Yeah, it was Lucinda, and then Puck was in third.
I think Lucinda Brand looks bad on the bike.
Yeah,
like I don't think she handles her bike well.
No, it's definitely not her forte. I think that was a big thing a couple of seasons ago where she was working really hard to improve her technical skills and technical riding.
I mean, you could argue that she lost the race because of lack of technical skills.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, she did come unclipped on that last little rise before the finish.
But it was she wasn't going to win that sprint either.
But dude, I don't know. She was a sprinter on the road in her a few years back. So she does have a good sprint, but against Fem, I mean, who knows? It was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of tough to watch because you could tell Fem was sort of riding very defensively. Like she would take the front, or she would chop Lucinda or kind of take her towards the barricades. So
How was that riding defensively? That sounds like pretty offensive riding.
I just mean like she was not responding to attacks and making her own attacks. She was trying to sort of dissuade Lucinda from attacking by taking away lines and by almost like slowing down the race, I guess. Because I think if Lucinda generally comes good at the end of a race in the last like lap, 2 laps, and she just motors away, which, you know, if you let her get to the front through a section that she's good at, then she probably would have ridden away, or at least it would have been much harder for Femme. So,
yeah,
I liked that it was
that last lap they were battling for the front position the entire time. Yeah, it was actually a really good last lap.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Was it just those two, or was Puck Peters or
Puck? No, Puck was a little further back. She didn't. I don't know. She maybe the mountain bike season kind of took it out of her. I feel like she had a lot riding on the mountain bikes and then the Olympics, so she didn't look at her on her best. I think she was at front for a little bit, but didn't have the engine to hold it off. That was your pick, right? That's who I wanted to win. Yeah. Yeah.
How do you feel about Femme winning?
Yeah, you know, it's fine. I was thinking about that. It's like, I think that what I appreciate about someone like Puck and even Lucinda is like they are pretty, you know, they're taking the Scott McGill being an authentic person in their interviews and such. So I like that they both have personalities that they show, and that's not any knock on Femme. She's just a little more, I think, reserved and like does the job, gets it done, keeps rolling. Like that's just her personality. So
she kind of reminds me of the female version of Eric Brunner.
Yeah.
Accurate.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Oh yeah. I was wondering, Strohmeyer, our natty champ, didn't even race. Did he?
Yeah, because he got sick.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Like bad sick or like
clearly
sick enough that he went home.
Oh wow. He didn't do Hoogerheide or no?
I don't think so.
Did he do any of them? No. Dang.
No. I just saw his Instagram post the other day that he was heading home. But yeah, Scott Funston in the men's.
Funston was 19th.
19th?
He's retiring now.
No, retiring?
I saw the quote on like quitting. Yeah, the quote on Velo News is like, it's time to actually make money. It's like time to sack up and make money now or something, or get a real job.
Is he getting married or something?
I don't know.
No, I don't. But
cyclocross ain't it. American cyclocross ain't it for me.
Yeah, exactly. Which, I mean, that's probably the best European Worlds result in the last.
When you type in Scott Funston into Google, the first is Scott Funston Disney, and then the second one is Scott Funston retirement.
Disney
making the waves.
Is it the retirement that we're talking about, or another Scott Funston retirement?
It is the one that we're talking about. I don't know about the Disney.
That's not bad. I mean, that's worth a few dollars right there.
I know. It's all over the place. There's like 30 articles on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a really good result. And then it's going to be his last.
I mean, at least he's going out with a bang, right? Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Unlike Dylan, who's just going to deteriorate slowly from 17, 18, 19, 20.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I'll say it right now. If I ever win Unbound, I'll retire on the spot.
No,
I'll never race a bike again.
No, you want to come back the next year and win? No way.
That's it, dude. That's it. I'm done.
What would you do if you retired, Dylan?
I'd start knitting.
YouTube videos.
You already do that.
I'd start knitting. How unhappy you'd be.
How much less happy I'd be, or how much?
You
more
literally said the only thing or one of the main things that got you through that spell that you had last year was riding bikes.
Yeah, I just need to not have another spell like that.
You need to have a multifaceted identity. You've got your identity too wrapped up into cycling. This is why you need to be a Christian. This is why everybody needs. This is why everybody needs to be a Christian.
Or I'll just take up knitting when I'm done, man. I think I'm going to take up knitting.
No, take up.
What is it? Crocheting. I think that's my next hobby.
Easier. Yeah. Speaking of the second coming, are we going to talk about Van der Poel just destroying everybody?
Nice transition. Yeah, what, he put like 30 seconds on lap 1?
I mean, dude, it was like what, 2 minutes into the race, and he was already so far ahead that there was nobody in the shot with him.
Yeah.
I was
He'd just be like a straightaway ahead of everybody. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Talking about someone that looks good riding a bike, Mathieu van der Poel looks good riding a bike.
The goat.
Just, yeah.
I picture myself looking like him when I ride. That's how.
You don't.
Yes, you don't. I know, but I think in my head, I'm like, I look like when I think I look like Van der Poel, it adds like 10 watts.
Van der Poel doesn't lock his elbows, bro.
And I have the Abus helmet sponsorship, and so that helps me to look more like him. And I'm like, dude, I got those Van der Poel watts. Just because we're teammates.
How many of those Abus helmets do you think he's sold? Because I personally don't think that that's a great looking helmet, but he makes it look so freaking good.
But is it fast?
I don't know.
It is on him.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter if he's
You
the
wear a
one under
BMX
it.
helmet.
I do love. I didn't.
Bucket helmets.
He's always got his whoop on, but as Dylan pointed out, I love that he's rocking the Richard Mille $300,000 watch.
What the heck is
to win
that?
his 7 titles. That's sick.
Yeah, and did you notice that when he crossed the
location?
This had to be like he had to have thought about this beforehand. He showed both his salute was showing both of his wrists from the front. So that he's like, yeah, here's my $300,000 watch, and here's my whoop strap,
and the number 7.
Use my discount code. He didn't say that in his interview.
How, dude? He better have gotten the fattest bonus ever for that victory salute.
I imagine he's doing all right.
Why is that? Why does that watch cost so much?
Because they only make like $4,000 a year.
How do you know what kind it was?
There was a post about it on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah,
it didn't even look fancy. It looked like something that my 3-year-old kid would wear. It was like baby blue. It was like a baby blue plastic looking watch. Like, I don't know what it's made of, but when I looked at it, I was like, oh, he got that thing out of a toy dispenser. Like,
I think it's actually I don't know what kind he has, but I think it's actually carbon fiber, and it's made to be super light. It's like 20 grams or something.
Yeah. I think it's
32
like the
grams.
Yeah, 6702.
RM6702.
how much is the cheapest one, Adam?
Automatic winding extra flat.
Adam, look up the price of it.
I don't think you can. I think this is one of those watches where, like, if you have to ask the price, then you're
look up Mathieu van der Poel watch price. Cost.
I mean, they estimated it to be 300,000, but it could be anywhere from 220 to 360,000. So I think it depends on your status.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. I mean, he definitely got it for free, but
yeah, they sponsor a bunch of like Julien Alaphilippe wore that watch in the Tour a couple years ago. Maybe it was when he was in yellow. I think maybe he.
I don't care if it's made of carbon fiber. It probably costs them $20 to make that thing, and they're selling it for that's like a $1 billion. That's like a 1 billion% increase on the price. Like,
definitely not.
It's not.
That's insane. Like,
your math is a little flawed there, but
watch technology is actually very
insane.
complicated, dude. It's way more than $20 to make that watch.
I mean, I will say that like the price is crazy for sure. Like, it doesn't need to be that expensive.
The margin on that watch, that's what I'm saying. The margin on that watch is insane.
Yeah. No doubt.
What can I make that's very rudimentary and sell it for like an absurd amount
Nothing,
of money?
because you have no brand behind yourself.
Do you know how complex watchmaking is?
Dude, I'll bet you could learn how to make one of those watches in 2 weeks if you just apply yourself.
If you just lock yourself in your head for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Dude, this watch is actually really sick. If it wasn't 300 grand, if it was like
$1,000 a month for the next 30 years,
if it was like $2,000, I would consider it, but 300 grand is.
You would buy a $2,000 watch?
I'm about to buy a $1,000 watch.
Oh my gosh.
This one doesn't track your location though. The $1,000 watch.
Yeah,
I got me a Garmin, whatever. It's like so outdated, and I
Probably
bought it off of
Forerunner?
eBay.
I'm about to get that Phoenix 8. That's what I want.
I mean,
Does it have
Wow.
rucking?
there was a whole
Got that ruck.
in the article in the Velo News article about Vanderpoel's watch. They also talked about how Wout had a Garmin watch on and it like broke mid race.
What a great advertisement.
But
Dude,
like-
I didn't even know that Wout was in the race. Like, I knew he was on the start list, but I was looking everywhere for him, and I didn't see him for like 2 laps. And then I finally see him. I'm like, man, there's no way he's gonna. I'm like, it must be a bummer because he had only ever gotten first or second at Worlds, and I'm like, no way he's getting second place today. And then he got second place. I was like, dang, he impressed. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't think he was coming back.
He struggles with the starts, man, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I
mean,
mean,
he
he's like
started row
5th
4.
row back too. Yeah. So.
Yeah. But can you imagine if Vanderpoel started 5th row back? He'd be about 30 seconds before he was first place.
Yeah.
That is true.
Was
That is
Vanderpoel
true.
in the 2nd row?
He's first row.
Oh, he was.
Yeah. Which also wasn't fair for the rest of the field, but he
Yeah.
just proceeded to
It
kind
didn't
of crush
matter.
everybody.
Doesn't matter. Start him in the back. Doesn't matter.
I mean, the race for the minor places was pretty good too. I mean, you had
Tebow.
Tebow and Joris, and then Wout chasing back to try to catch up as well. So
What do you
it was
think
exciting.
about?
It just wasn't as exciting as like the women's race. You're just
Dude,
watching.
I was thinking about this after he won. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe you could make this argument for like Peter Sagan. I don't know if there's ever been a cooler cyclist in my lifetime than Vanderpoel.
Peter
That is
Sagan
true.
was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, him and Sagan's on his decline now. I mean, he's so far declined that he like can't even race World Cup mountain bikes.
He's gonna
But
come to gravel.
yeah, he's probably gonna come to
What
Unbound.
about
and
Lance, dude?
Armstrong. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
know.
Lance was way
Sagan
more of a
was-
superstar, but
Yeah. Sagan was funny. Like,
That's
you
true.
don't get a lot of funny cyclists. Like I can't
Yeah.
think of any other cyclists that are genuinely just funny.
yeah, like his personality was definitely like next level.
Yeah, Vanderpoel isn't funny, but I feel like he's like the closest thing cycling's ever had to a rock star personality.
No, dude, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think Armstrong in his heyday was way more of a rock star than.
All right,
And
maybe I
Vanderpoel.
was too young when Armstrong was killing it.
Yeah.
To
I
like
mean, he
really
transcended
appreciate
cycling in a way that was like unheard of,
it. Yeah.
and still is.
And then all of us are too young to remember like, Eddie Merckx or whatever. So
Yeah. But like the fact that
Let's
Vanderpoel
start to-
will like go out and like rip motos and things like that. Like he definitely has like that punk rock kind of lifestyle.
I don't
that
know.
he leads.
I don't know if punk rock is the right, but like he's sponsored by what's the watch?
Richard Mill.
Yeah,
Or
he's
Richard
sponsored
Mill.
by a watch company that makes $300,000 watches, and he's
And
sponsored by
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Dude, what cyclist has been sponsored by?
And KTM.
Yeah, dude, it's like that's crazy.
More importantly,
He's sponsored by all those things, or he has all those things.
What chainsaw do you think he's ripping?
Oh, dude, he's probably got that steel deal.
Husqvarna?
He might have a Husky.
Definitely not a Ryobi. Definitely not a Ryobi.
no.
No, dude.
Tool
No.
shop. Not a tool shop. You think Menards are in Europe?
No,
Nah.
Menards isn't in North Carolina, bro.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. All we had to say about Cyclocross Worlds. Matthew Vanderpoel's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else otherwise can suck it.
Yeah, but I think if Van Aert had a better first lap, it might have been more of a race.
No chance.
I don't think so.
Zero
I don't
chance.
think so.
Okay, but Vanderpoel's been winning these races by like 1 to 2 minutes typically when he just rides away with it,
Mhm.
and now he only won by like 45 seconds.
That's all
had
I
a
needed to
flat-
win
he had
by.
a flat on
Yeah,
lap
but he
3.
only needs to win by that every time, but he still
He did
keeps
have
going.
a flat
like-
tire? Didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah, he had a front flat on lap 3, and then he basically party paced it for the second half
Yeah.
of the race. Dude, if Wout was there, Matthew Vanderpoel exists to do nothing else except for destroy Wout's soul.
All right. Wout he wasn't going to do it, and he did it for a reason.
I thought Wout was a sprinter. He should have moved his way through that pack.
He crashed, didn't he?
I don't know if he crashed or not, but
he
must have.
He had a huge hole. Yeah, they never showed what
they said
happened,
multiple off-camera crashes, actually.
Yeah,
Maybe
they never
he
showed
just-
what happened, but he had a big hole in his pants.
I think Van Aert could have. I don't think he would have won or really challenged him seriously, but
Would have been a little
it would have
closer.
been closer.
Yeah, I
he
agree.
could have been on the same lap
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
Van der Poel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Wout has won cyclocross worlds,
Three
which
times.
means he had. So in those 3 times that he won it, I can't even remember. How did the race play out between him and Van der Poel?
He beat him.
His
Well,
first
time
Did
he
year-
Van der Poel have like issues, or did he beat him fair and square? Like they were
Yeah.
neck and neck, and he
His-
was the better rider.
So his first championship was in Zolder, and he and Van der Poel got tangled.
Yeah.
And Wout's Van der Poel lost a bunch of spokes, and then
For
basically
a long time. His foot was stuck in his wheel for 20 or 30 seconds.
yeah, I
or
remember
something
that.
like that. And then
Yeah.
so they were both way behind everybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wout caught up, and then Wout won. And then the next year was BL's. I can't remember what happened in Luxembourg, but I think Van der Poel probably had another issue, and then Wout rode away. And then similar thing happened in the
Valkenburg?
Netherlands,
Wasn't that?
Valkenburg, yeah, where he I can't remember what happened exactly, but Wout just that was always Van der Poel's issue, is he would just mentally shut down. As soon as he would go through a hard period, you could just see he would let off the gas.
And all 3 of those years, Van der Poel won nearly every race throughout the whole season. And then it was the only race he lost was Worlds. If you go back and look at the results, Van der Poel was dominant all year. And then for some reason, for 3 years, he just couldn't pull it together for Worlds.
Yeah, I think there was one season where he was literally 32-0 going into Worlds, and then
Still
lost Worlds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Undefeated.
He did win one world championship before those 3, and he's the youngest ever winner of the elite. He went straight from juniors, 17, 18, skipped U23 altogether, and won the elite men's championship in the Czech Republic as an 18-year-old.
So
basically.
Van der
But
Poel
that was a closer race. That came down to the last lap, and Wout
and that
slid
was
out.
him and Wout. Yeah, same
Just
thing.
finished.
So Van der Poel is what, 30 now?
right now.
He's a year
So
younger
he's-
than me. Yeah.
So Van der Poel is at his peak age right now. I was thinking about this the other day. There's, certain generational talents. They'll be capable of being the youngest ever winner of whatever because they're so good. And then by the time they hit their peak age, they're so dominant. It's not even close, which is what we're seeing right now with Van der Poel. I mean, for example, Pogačar is probably going to be the same deal. He's such a generational talent that he was able to be. Was he the youngest ever Grand Tour winner, or am I making that
I
up?
think he
so,
tied
yeah.
it, didn't he? He was
Scott should know.
equally the same.
Scott's not even
age.
listening.
Yeah,
I'm
whatever.
listening.
Whatever. Anyway, when he won the Tour, he was freaking 20 years old or something, crazy young. I think by the time Pogačar's 30, dude, it's not going to be close at all. He's going to be so far ahead of everybody at the Tour de France. It's not even going to be funny.
How much older is Jonas than Pogačar?
I don't know Jonas's age off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I know Tade is 25, 26.
He's 26.
Yeah. 4 years from now, when Tade is 30, it's going to be a bloodbath at the Tour.
Yeah. Jonas is 28, so they're 2 years apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, Jonas is closer to his peak age, and he's still one step behind Tade.
But do you think
he was injured this year?
Do you think Tade's just going to get bored? Like I feel like Van der Poel is just going to get bored at some point where he's like, yeah, I've kind of done everything. I've won all the things that I've needed to win.
I think
when he wins, mountain bike championships, when he wins mountain bike worlds, he's just going to be like, all right, I'm good.
And then you go for the Olympics, and then you go for all three, and then you go for.
Yeah. He's got to go for double digits at this point, right?
It's kind of like Nino Schurter. You know, you would have thought Nino Schurter would have gotten bored. And also, actually, Nino Schurter is a great example of what I'm talking about with the peak age thing. So he was capable of winning a World Cup when he was super young, like 21 or something. And he's capable of winning a World Cup when he's super old. But when he was at his peak age, like there was one season where he didn't lose a World Cup. He was undefeated in World Cups when he was like 30 or something.
Yeah.
The funnest part about bike racing is winning. And they get to do that. They get to do that more than anybody else. So why would they get bored? That's like the best part about bike racing is beating other people.
But it's no fun when you're a minute ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, none of us would know, but I'd imagine that it's still pretty fun.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think that part is still fun. Yeah. What might not be fun is not having something new to chase, right?
Yeah.
Like if you've already been there, done that lots of times, what else is next? Like everyone always wants to do what is the next best thing.
I think he still has things to chase. He's not an Olympic gold medalist yet. You know, he needs to win mountain bike.
Sure. There's lots of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this 7th title, I think was something that he was chasing. Yeah.
But I think
was it just record tying? I thought he broke the record.
No, he needs to
he's for sure.
So he's got to get 8
more.
He's got to get 8.
He's got to do 10. If he gets 10, then it'll never get broken.
Yeah.
But who else is going to come? Like that's the thing though, is like with, who was thinking about Van der Poel. Like there's not enough good talent coming up where they're just going to like walk away with it. Like the second and third places, like they're all much closer to each other than Van der Poel. He's so far ahead that like when he rocks up, you're just like, yeah, okay, how is he going to, unless he takes himself out, how is he going to win today? And like, if you look at Ellie or Michael Van Toornout or Felipe
those dudes
Orts
are way past their prime. Those guys are,
but they're not. They're similar age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it's too late for them. Is what I'm saying. Even if he backs out, there's not enough time for them.
Sure, I know, but if you take Wout out, I'm saying, but even if you look beyond that, I don't know that there's at least at this point, it has not manifested that there's a standout rider that's so far.
Agreed. That the next standout rider is 2 right now.
2 years old.
Yeah.
Or Del Grosso. He could be the next one. Could be a passing of the torch after.
He's already not though. Like if he was, he would have skipped U23s and gone and won a world champs at 19, like Van der Poel did.
That's true. But I mean, like Tade, like what's Tade going to do? He's going to win 87 Tour de France, and then like
even if
he's not going to keep going.
Even if you think back to the racing before Van der Poel was dominant, it was still like super dynamic. You had like Niels Albert, Sven Nys, Zdeněk Stebar, like all those guys were like duking it out every race. There was no dominant person. Like every year you went into Worlds, you didn't know who's going to win. Like.
I mean, and you could look at Van der Poel's career and say it's similar things. I mean, like he's been super dominant, obviously, but he always had Wout. Like if Wout wasn't in the picture at all, it really would be a boring scene the last decade.
Yeah,
but like Wout has at least made it interesting, and Pidcock.
Well, who? I'll save my rant on Tom Pidcock being a part of the big 3, having done.
Don't save your rant. That's what the podcast is for.
Yeah.
Well, dude, singular focus. That's good for him. He's going to accomplish bigger things because he didn't do cyclocross.
Like what? Winning the Alula Tour? That's the biggest
mad.
thing.
You're just mad. You just want to
watch. Is invited to.
You're mad because cyclocross is fizzling out, and yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Tyler.
No.
I don't think it's fit.
We only had 2 Americans.
Tell me why you wouldn't
include
include Pidcock in the big 3. Tell me why.
He doesn't compete.
Yeah, that's accurate. At least for cyclocross, yeah.
I mean,
and you can't put him in the big 3 for road because there's not really a big 3. And
no, we're talking exclusively cyclocross.
Yeah, he didn't do a single race this year.
I just don't think that with Pidcock, he's won world championships in 2022, but Wilder, Mathieu weren't there. Not that it's necessary. It is an asterisk, but it's
count.
not.
I agree.
An
It doesn't
asterisk
count.
because I mean, you can only race the people that show up. And Matthew Van Der Poel hates the North American continent. So like, so you look at it, you're like, well, okay, what else has he won? Like, you know, not a ton really. I mean, Wout's won on the road. Matthew's won on the road, you know, Grand Tours, Leaders jerseys, etc.
Didn't Pidcock win?
Pidcock's won.
He won.
He won Amstel Gold.
He won Alpe d'Huez.
Strada Bianchi.
Dude.
Yeah.
Tyler, you're come on. You're just hating now, dude.
The whole point
He's
is
also
stuff.
two-time Olympic gold medalist.
He probably saw
no
like
one cares.
we want him to race cross. He probably saw he got a taste of that glory at Strada Bianca last year, and he's probably like, man, if I could just win more of these things, that'd be way better than winning like Cyclocross Worlds or something. Like, nah, dude, that's way bigger.
I think what makes it tough is that you have Wout, who's really good on the road. He's really good at cyclocross. You have Van Der Poel, who's good across 3 disciplines. And then you have Pidcock, who is like good at all 3, but I guess like if you put him in that same comparison, he's not quite as good as Wout or Mathieu across like the various disciplines is what is kind of my point. And so, yeah, he might be the 3rd best person, but there's a large gap, in my opinion, between.
It's called the Big Three. There's 3 included.
Yeah, but I don't know if it should be Big 3. I mean, you could make the argument that it's Big 1 right now.
Yeah, or Big 2.5. You know,
Who's the half?
Pidcock's the half.
Oh, got it.
Pidcock is also like half the size of Wout and Van Der
I think
Poel,
that's
so.
why he
That
doesn't
is
have
true.
such as dominant results on the road, is because he's so small that there's only so many races that he could do really well at because of his physiology.
Yeah, I mean, he's well suited for short, like punchy races. Like if it comes down to a sprint in Flanders and he's with Wout or Mathieu, like he's not.
No,
I'm not picking Pidcock by any means.
and he's a good sprinter. And he's a good sprinter. You know, like
yeah, he's quick. But
who won Amstel Gold that year that they couldn't tell the photo finish with?
they gave it to Wout.
They gave it to Wout.
Yeah. Pidcock has said, I think he even said in an interview this year, like about how he actually won Amstel Gold. Like he still maintains that he won that race, but they gave it to Wout at the photo finish.
Well, he also won it again.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he calls himself a 2-time winner, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
I should start doing that with
just
something
start
that I wasn't
saying
close to
you
winning.
won races
Start
that you did it.
lying.
That's what I did.
Just lying.
That's what I did last year with Mid-South. I was like, I think I got 4th. If you look at that really shitty photo finish.
Yeah, they could have that.
with
Yeah.
They
Russell.
gotta improve this shit. Like they have this race that's apparently such a big deal, and then it's not even like there's like stoplights and stuff.
Yeah, and the photo
Like,
finish
you
is
can't get a
not
cop out there?
the photo finish was not with like a photo finish camera. I think it was somebody's iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they probably just
And
a
it wasn't
random.
even over the line. It was like not even in the right spot.
It was probably one of the 5 spectators.
Yeah, I was
that
gonna say it was literally just a
wandered
spectator
by
who got
and,
the
like,
footage, and they're like, "Oh,
And
snap
happened to
it.
be taking a family photo at that time.
We didn't know
in
that it was going to be
location."
this close, so we're going to have to get the cameras."
Yeah, a race that like is guaranteed to come down to a sprint finish between at least 2 people, right?
Yeah.
I think every year it's been a sprint. Yeah. Well, no, Cole.
I mean, every
I'll
once in a
stop.
while, someone will get away in the last few miles, but
Yeah, I mean, that's not the kind of thing that Bobby cares about, photo finish cams. So
yeah.
Who got hugged first? Did you get the 4th hug?
ooh, yeah.
That's how we know.
I can't remember. I was like on the ground, to be honest with you, in typical Dylan Johnson fashion.
Because you're a sprint where you slow rolled it across the line.
Yeah. Yeah. At least I didn't get last in that sprint.
That's true.
Well, if Stetna's in the group, you already know he got last in the sprint.
Yeah,
so.
Stedna got last. But to be
you
fair,
can rely on him to get last.
To be fair to Stetna, like he didn't really sprint. He sort of attacked with, I don't know, 500 meters to go, and his attack didn't work. So
yeah, he really needs to work on some high intensity. I know some coaches.
You should give him some advice, Drew.
I know some coaches, Pete. We'll help you. We'll get your results
he actually made a post recently about how his off season has looked different this year. Like he's doing a lot more VO2 max intervals than he's ever done, and it's looked less like a traditional base season.
Wow!
So
he finally watched that Dylan Johnson video about the maintenance intensity during the base season. Good for him.
Well, do we have any listener questions? Or do we want to talk Scott's appliances?
What?
We could do some
don't bring it up, dude.
He's
Adam, pull up those listener questions.
We should, do we have enough money to order both hats and socks, or should we make the people vote? Would they rather have hot hats or socks?
I don't think anyone wants either. They can go to Walmart.
All right, never mind then. I'll delete that off my task list.
Hats are always better than socks.
Yeah, I mean it's hats for sure, dude.
Yeah, but socks in cycling is a big thing.
Yeah, but everybody needs to go get
socks all the time. It's a big thing every day for everybody.
I know exactly. So they should put Bonk Bros on their socks.
Yeah, but nobody, like, how often, like, people wear pants.
Like, everybody wears socks, right? So we could sell some socks, but not everybody wears hats. Only 3 out of 5 of us are wearing hats right now. So, like, our target audience immediately gets cut in half because only half our listeners wear hats, but everybody wears socks.
Dude, if half of our audience bought a hat, we'd be rolling in it.
You know,
we sold a lot of shirts. We sold, I think I shipped out 10 packages the other day of shirts and bottles, and
nice.
Everything's still on sale, y'all. So go hit it up.
Around 10 sales.
Yeah.
Well, how many people listen to this? 10,000?
Yeah.
1 out of every 1,000.
Oh.
Dude, how many people do you think are going to buy Ketone after that ad we did at the beginning?
You guys feeling the ketones? Does anybody feel any different?
Yeah, dude, I feel the ketones, man. I'm so energized for the latter half of this podcast.
Yeah, let's keep going.
You do seem a little bit more.
I've preserved my glycogen stores all the way to the end. I'm ready for the sprint finish of this podcast.
There you go.
That's a shock.
Adam, pull up the freaking listener questions.
I've got them, dude. Hold on. This first one's not really a listener question, but it's a shout out. Because Zach from the internet asked if we could do a quick ad read for an event that he's putting on. And we're just doing it because it's a good cause. Okay. So don't give me shit for this. He's putting on an event called Bike to Beat Cancer to raise money in every year. Whoever is the top donor. So this is why he wanted to put it out there. Whoever is the top donor gets to pick whatever tattoo they want Zach to get on him and wear. And I guess it says on his leg, but maybe you can pick where. If you put in like an extra 10%, maybe you can pick where you put it. So you get to put a tattoo on Zach, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, it's called Bike to Beat Cancer. So if anyone out there is listening, dude, I think I am feeling the ketones right now, man. I am so freaking focused right now.
Yeah, you look amped.
I am amped, dude.
You're always amped. What do you mean? You're always focused. So you always bring your A game.
I struggle with focus, man, but this is different. So you can go to, we'll put the link in the show notes, but it's Bike to Beat Cancer, and you can donate and then put a tattoo on Zach. How much would a listener have to raise money for something that you wanted to put a tattoo on you?
Really?
Yeah.
Any amount.
Like any amount, really.
Yeah,
Dizzle, you don't get to keep the money. Like it goes to a good cause. It
goes to a cause, yeah.
And the cause is not your bank account.
Correct.
That changes things. Depends on the tattoo.
So what amount? Probably. What amount? Would it be no amount? Like you're not going to do that for?
Yeah, I'm pretty strict about my body, so it's a temple.
So if someone gave you $20 to put in your pocket, you'd get a tattoo. But if someone said, "Hey, I'll give $2,000 to beat cancer," tattoo. You wouldn't get the tattoo.
I would go and pay for a tattoo. They're
picking the tattoo for you. You don't get to get the sword on your arm. They pick what you get.
then no, probably not.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe $1,000. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Now we're talking.
That's not a lot, man.
Yeah.
And they get to pick where it goes.
They get to pick what it is, where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
On my foot. No.
Maybe you can give some.
The chance of somebody putting something really stupid on my face would no.
No. You could do like no faces or no hands or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
That's
just put like a long dong stem right on your foot.
Well, for sure. $1,000 for a stem on my foot. Heck yeah.
All right.
No doubt. Yeah. But
okay.
$1,000 for a stem on my forehead. I don't know about that. I don't know about
Does
that.
it walk around with a long dong stem on his forehead?
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Maybe it's right on your cheek.
I got another sponsor race shout out. We got the Glacial Drainage sponsored by our boys over at the Bicycle Station, and Dylan can't even get mad because they sponsor him too. I will
say that name is terrible.
Yeah.
What is it?
Glacial
what are we talking about?
Drainage.
Glacial Drainage. I don't know what they came up. The logo is cool.
Product
the logo
or what is it?
It's a bike race.
Trade.
It's a
Think of a
gravel
better
race.
name than glacial drainage.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound. That sounds like a disease.
Too many syllables. Yeah.
Well, it's not the syllables,
and it doesn't even sound fun.
It sounds like an STD, man.
Oh, go sign up for this STD. It's on the March the 8th. It's on March the 8th in Madison, Indiana. 62 miles.
Oh, dude, their logo is a Yeti on a bike. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, the logo is pretty cool. The race is cool. It's like 50-50 gravel, and it's a lot of pavement, but it's like got a bunch of these hard, punchy climbs. It's fun.
You thought I couldn't get mad at one of my own sponsors.
You just did. You just called them an STD. Wow. Well, and if 20 people register for the race, they're gonna the bicycle station's gonna give me. They're gonna give me some money, basically.
Oh,
20. You mean 20 people from the podcast?
So I need just 20 people to register. So if 20 people register. And I don't know how they're going to track this, but if I get 20 people,
race if there's less than 20 people,
if I get 20 people to register, if I'm the cause of it somehow,
okay,
then they're going to hook me up.
How do you determine that? You're just going to look on the registration?
I don't know. I guess like on the day that this podcast comes out, I'll say everything that all the people that registered today was because of me.
It is crazy what Drew will do for $100.
No, it's like $1,000. It's like a set of wheels.
Don't say the amount, bro.
Well, you said 100. I'm not doing it for $100.
All right.
Will Dixon.
Wait, hold on. Going back to
his last name. Just
going back to the hypothetical about the tattoos. The good cause is now your bank account. How much money for any tattoo, any placement?
$20.
Not the face,
but not the face.
Not the face. Not the neck. Not the hands. Anywhere else. Anything they want.
Hands.
What amount of money?
Just as long as it's not my face or my neck.
Sure.
Right,
okay.
So everything below the neck.
Probably not much.
We want the amount, man.
No vulgarity. No body parts.
All right. Sure. Yeah. We want the amount.
I don't know. It really just depends on what it is.
You don't get to know. I am
about to give you that amount of money to get this tattoo.
That changes things. Isn't
a hypothetical. What I'm saying right now is this is.
So let's say 20K.
Okay, dude, come on.
That's like pennies in your bank account, dude. It is. Dude, you got 20. You could be throwing. I could get 10 tattoos for that amount if it's coming out of your bank account.
Like if somebody legit had $100 bill and was like, I will give you this $100 bill if you let me put whatever tattoo I want on your body. Would you take this?
If it's only this big, yeah.
Okay.
How about it has to fit within the scope of $100 bill?
No, that's too big.
Not that big.
$100 per inch, per circular inch, whatever you call that.
Maybe let's just do square inch. It's a little easier to measure.
Yeah, square inch. There we go.
Okay, Will wants to know if we've ever checked out the Tufo Thundero. They are some of the most versatile, fast tires for smooth gravel. Few of my friends in the Purdue Cycling Club independently chose them for speed, grip, puncture resistance, and affordability, which you probably don't consider. Then he sends the bicycle rolling.
Bro, we're all about that money. You think we care about the affordability of a tire?
That was pretty good.
Oh, dude, Will likes the Menards tangents, by the way.
Ugh,
I don't know, you ever heard of the Tufo Thundero?
dude,
Yeah,
the Tufo Fundero has a cult following, man. People really like that tire.
They're on the Bike Tires Direct. But
There
I
you
don't
go.
know. I can't tell you exactly
Get you
why.
some, Will.
But I
Get you some.
went for the Schwalbe ones instead of those.
They only
But I
come in
had
a
them on my
48.
list.
If you guys haven't figured it out, every time Dizzle mentions Bike Tires Direct, they give him a $10 bill, so he's gonna mention it a lot.
Have I mentioned it a lot?
It's whatever.
All right, this one's from Tony. Tony says, I looked into, this is the update on the trash frame. He must have sent in a different question that we called his frame trash. But anyways.
Well, if it was a frame that could fit less than 50s, then we definitely did.
Yeah,
And
probably.
when I say we, I mean me.
So Tony says, I looked into trash compactors big enough to smash my brand new bike's frame because allegedly it can't fit mountain bike tires. It's the Canyon Grail CFR. Newsflash, it's not financially viable. Compactors big enough to do the deed cost more than the frame itself. So unless I smash the wheels and components too, I can't justify buying the compactor. The environment is important to me. Burning the carbon frame is off the table. I considered chemical alternatives like a vat of caustic liquid, but this has its own disposal overhead. This leaves recycling.
This much time to email us this.
I'm just getting started here. This leaves recycling as the only option. I need to turn my own trash into a usable treasure. I had to think outside the box. Throwing the rules out the window, ignore the frame specs. 42 millimeter limit, no way. I busted out the calipers to measure the actual space. I need the maximum. What is actually physically possible, not some arbitrary limit made up by the company. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Then I squeezed on the biggest rubber this bad boy could jam into that space.
Dude,
and I landed on the 44 rubber. Vittoria Mezcal and a 2.2 S-Works Renegade on the front. Oh, okay. Now we're talking. Measuring 54 mil. This thing rips. I beat Dylan's time up a local climb. Oh, he sends the Strava link for it. Let's go to that.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I thought the Mezcal was a mountain bike tire. You can get it in a 44?
Apparently. The Raptor Ridge climb in San Diego, California. You've been up that?
That's not.
I mean,
That's
probably during
the
BWR.
BWR California race, yeah.
Dylan could have been riding around the parking lot beforehand and done this Strava segment.
Dude, the person that has the fastest time, their name is called Strava Athlete.
Nice.
That's a flex.
Cool.
Anyways,
Well,
let's see what else goes on here. So to anyone out there considering trashing your frame, think green and recycle it. You might be sitting on a ripper. Or maybe if Canyon is listening, can you stop messing around and make that rear clearance better? The front is dialed though. Also,
Buddy, you don't have to.
The Race King thing, I looked
Canyon.
at them, I held the tire in my hand, but I need the 2020 version with the chili and protection compound, or the new version with the black chili but not protection, or is it no chili? He doesn't know what he needs. Just get the freaking whatever
Protection.
Race King you can get, man, in the 2.2 with the protection. It's good.
dude,
yeah.
in the last video that I made about the tire test, the amount of comments saying like, oh, but dude, gravel bikes can't even fit mountain bike tires, man. Like that felt has a claimed tire width of 50. That does it. Did you have 650B wheels on? It's like, dude, the claimed max tire width is wrong. Don't listen to the claimed max tire width.
Or just buy a Lauf. The claimed,
It's not that it's
the
wrong. It's an
claimed
industry
width is a mountain
standard.
bike tire.
There's an industry standard that it has to be able to clear. I think it's either 6 or 8 millimeters on both sides.
Yeah, dude.
So that means you've got
That's a whole centimeter.
you've got that much to work with.
Yeah,
Well,
honestly,
what?
in reality,
A little
like
more.
you could probably be 2 or 3 mil on both sides and be fine.
Easy.
What about like half a mil?
No,
Which-
because then you're gonna rub when you sprint or corner hard.
Maybe the way you
I
sprint.
think if as long as you've got 3 mil of clearance on both sides, you're good.
Yeah.
Now, if it's muddy, it's a whole different scenario.
Mhm.
Tire doesn't even matter at that point. You just need clearance. But we're talking fast, dry gravel situation, 3 mil, you're good to go. Don't at me when your frame rubs, but you're good to go.
Yeah, screw the industry standard.
Yeah. Drew, you pulled up some question thing last week. I have like emails in my account, but I can't access those. That's why I never read those.
Dude, I gave you access to that thing like a year ago.
I know, and I never was able to access it.
Okay, we'll do this off.
It seemed like okay. Okay.
At one point, you did have access to it.
Maybe, I don't know.
Right,
I don't anymore though.
We'll get
Philip says, "Hey guys, love what you do, etc." Even Drew. Question.
Nice.
I'll be doing the Sea Otter gravel race this year, and Lifetime decided to make it their series race instead of the Fuego XL. What the fuck, Lifetime? But fine. I'll be there with my 2.0 black non-chili Race Kings and 2 watt per kilo sending it. But there's a non-zero chance I will get lapped by DJ and maybe even Drew. What do I do when there's a pro trying to zoom by me who is actually racing? I'm on a single track, let's say. Should I send it into the ditch? Should I stop? Should I just keep going because they can find their own line around me since they're a pro? Thanks for the etiquette advice. A pro versus a normie road or gravel racer, Philip.
That's a good question, actually.
You keep pedaling because your race is just as important as theirs. So you take up the entire trail.
In what sense?
Don't move.
This is when elitist Drew comes out.
Let's hear it, Drew. What you got?
Get out of the way.
Drew's not an elitist about watches, but he is an elitist about racing bikes.
I'll do my due diligence and I'll yell. I'll say, rider back, and that means get the heck out of the way.
You say thank you when they do move out of the way?
Yeah, every single time. Yeah, I'm grateful. Yeah.
It's actually not a bad answer. I agree.
Yeah. Our race is more important, Tyler. Like, some of us are pros trying to like make this thing happen, and unless you're a fellow pro, you should get out of the way.
Damn.
And honestly, I don't even think that it's their fault or our fault. That situation shouldn't even happen. The race promoter should do a better job making sure that that situation doesn't happen. If that means separate starts, if that means different
biggest
course,
sport in the world,
like,
and they can't even have a fucking their own course, like
exactly.
So I could be wrong about this, but I think that the pros have a separate start from everyone else.
I think it's a big lap too. I don't think.
Yeah, but if it's multiple lap course though, then it's not going to matter if they have a separate start.
Yeah, but they would have to be going like.
He's talking about getting lapped, dude.
I think it's like a 30-mile. It's like 3 laps on a 33-mile course.
3 times as fast as the other person? I don't think that's realistic.
I don't think. If it's 33 miles, there's no way.
Is it 2 laps or what?
Are you serious? Dude, for sure you're lapping people.
2 laps?
No, he said 3 miles.
Oh, yes. It's 3 laps.
Are you kidding me?
I'm going to go
be lapping people.
Yeah, true.
Think about, the winner of Unbound does it in what, 9 hours now?
Mm-hmm.
A good time, like for an average amateur time, is like 15 hours. Like that's a good time.
Are they doing the whole gravel race? Or are they doing like pros and then like elites? That's what they should do. Pro wave and then an elite wave and then
pro and elite. Is the same.
How do you distinguish between those two?
Pro and elite is the same thing, Drew.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Well, then
what they're going to do is it's a pro wave and then it's all the age group waves.
And we're all on the course at the same time.
Why don't they just do it at a different time? I don't
I'd say just do the pro race on its own.
I could be wrong about this. Don't quote me on this, but I think that they are doing the pro race at a different time.
Oh, okay. Well, then good. Problem solved.
Great. Next question.
So
that's what every race should do. And if they're like BWR Cali does it to where, and I got a lot of flack on this from my video last year, but there was a really technical part of that race late in the race where the shorter course people were on the same part of trail that we were. So people who were doing like the 50-mile race were on this like couple miles of trail, and it was literally a single track. Like there's nowhere to pass. So like either they're stopping or I'm crashing to go around them. And I was actively trying to drop 3 people that I was with because that was like one of the last technical sections of the race. So I'm like, I'm going to drop these 3 people through this technical section. but I had to like stop behind people multiple times. Like that kind of sucks. Like,
did you yell to them? Like, did you?
Yeah,
signal
every
that you were
time. Yeah,
coming?
but sometimes like there were a couple times where the people in front of me were like off their bikes in the trail, and I'm like trying to go around them, and I think I crashed one time. Like, I just think that's bad planning. Like,
Yeah,
either have them don't do that part of the course, have us do a different course. I just think having the pros intentionally racing the pros through the amateur field is not good at all. It's going to mess up the amateurs experience, and it's going to mess up our race. So like,
and to add to this, not that it's that big a deal because Unbound, there's no single track in Unbound, but the fact that they run the front of the Unbound race through basically the back of the 50-mile race at Unbound in the last 20 miles or so, or the last 40 miles, is dumb. They shouldn't do
dangerous. That. Yeah, we talked about that with Tobin on that one time, right? Because didn't he like hip check someone into the ground?
Because here's the thing: there's so many people doing Unbound that when you hit the back of the 50-mile race, you are passing people probably every 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's messed up.
But at least in that situation, you have the whole road to pass them. I'm talking about like a single track section.
You kind of don't though too, because like if the road's not closed, like technically like there could be cars coming from the other way.
Yeah, but you get the point that I'm making though. Like
right.
Single track is like, I mean, that's a whole nother.
Yeah,
that elevates it way more.
No, it does. It does. But also there's usually one fastest line on gravel, or maybe two fastest lines if like cars regularly drive on it. But usually it's like there's one line that's really good, and then if you have to constantly be shifting your line to pass people, you're slowing yourself down.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
So just to wrap this up, and then we can just wrap the show up. The schedule for Sea Otter does say that on Thursday, April 10th, which I didn't realize how early Sea Otter is this year. That's early. The gravel race at 10:30 for the men's Lifetime Grand Prix and Elite field, and then at 10:50 is the gravel race for the Lifetime Grand Prix and Elite women's field. And just that, it's just the Elite field on Thursday, and then Friday morning at 7:45 a.m. is the amateur gravel race.
Yeah,
I think that's ballin'. I think that's a cool way to do it. Are you guys gonna do the Fuego XL or whatever, like the mountain bike race on Saturday?
Nah, because then you have to fly out with two bikes. Yeah,
I hadn't even thought about that actually. Maybe I will.
Nah, I'm gonna like smash it in the gravel race, and then the day after the gravel race, walk around the expo and get a bunch of sponsors. That's my plan, and then I'm out of there.
All right.
It is kind of cool that the gravel race, like the race that matters, is on Thursday to start the weekend, because then you can just chill and do the expo thing.
Yeah,
it sucks when it's like on Saturday and you've got to like do the expo thing Friday and do the expo thing after the thing on Saturday, and April 10th, man, that's early. It's coming up. You guys better be training.
Yeah, dude, 2 months.
All right. Scott, you want to end this thing or what?
You don't want to end this thing.
Napping over there.
You could barely even see
Scott, did you order all of our equipment yet?
Yeah, I ordered it last night. I was going to do it yesterday morning.
Then you went fishing.
Laptop didn't charge. Went to go oyster fishing on the way. I was going to do it.
How many did you get? You said 3.
Do you have a drone, dude?
No, that was my buddy's drone, but it was sweet. I want to get one.
Yeah.
It takes some fantastic like videos and stuff.
It was cool, yeah.
Drone footage is sick, but finding somebody to fly your drone is really hard. I have one, but I barely use it because like I don't know anybody that can fly the thing.
Why can't you fly it?
What about Andy, dude?
How would you fly it? If I want footage of me for my YouTube channel, how would I fly it?
It's pretty difficult to fly a drone too. It's not like just anybody can do it.
It's way easier than computer programming, dude. You said you could learn that shit in 2 weeks.
You're not wrong. It is easier than computer programming. Doesn't mean it's easy.
Instawall does it.
And I can't do those things at the same time. I thought
they had a feature where it just basically follows you at some proximity.
That's more expensive.
That's like way more expensive.
But get that one. You know what's more expensive? Hiring out someone to do your video taking.
Adam has a point. Drew's not going to listen to him, but he has a point.
Yeah, accurate.
All right, let's go. See you guys.
See ya.